Okay, hello. Welcome back to part two of the weirdest or craziest things I've seen or heard on the bus. So I'm sitting on the bus at my usual spot, just kind of waiting for my bus stop. And there's this like man sitting not in front of me, but directly in front of me. So I'm sitting right here, and he's sitting right here. Okay, and then this lady gets on the bus and she like kind of sits in front of me and it's like quiet for a couple seconds. I don't have my headphones in today for some unknown reason, but I just didn't want to listen to music. I just wanted to kind of just like act like nonchalant or whatever, like look out the window because I'm pretty sure it was raining, so I was just kind of like looking outside, just like pondering on life or whatever. And then I like look a little to my right and I see a smoke cloud. And obviously I was like, that doesn't make sense because you're not allowed to smoke on the bus. That's just like basic human decency. And so I was like, oh, I'm just tripping. And then I looked to my left, and when I looked to my right again, and then I see another smoke cloud, and I'm like, oh, okay. And clearly, it was very noticeable because the lady in front of me also clocked that something's going on, and so the lady like confronts the guy because apparently the guy was smoking. Not apparently, the guy was smoking. And the lady, she was white. The lady in front of me kind of confronted the guy. She was like, "Sir, you're not allowed to smoke on the bus." And he was just like, "I'm not smoking." And he was like, "Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. I just saw you." And he was like, "No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't." And she was like, "I just saw you. You need to put that away. You need to put that away. You are not allowed to smoke on the bus. You are not allowed to smoke on the bus." And he looked pissed. The man looked so upset. I was so scared. I was low key afraid for my life. Because usually on the bus, some of the bus drivers, like, you don't have to pay to get on the bus. Some of the bus drivers, like, are nice and they just, like, let people on the bus, right? And so you never know what kind of, like, mental status some of these people on the bus are, like on. So I just kind of like just being quiet and looking outside or listening to my music. That's like my vibe on the bus. So confrontation? No. Especially because he looked scary. He looked scary. So I was low key like afraid he was gonna pull out a blicky and then end all of us on this bus. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I was afraid he was gonna kill us. Especially because this lady kept pressing him. She was like, "Sir, you need to put that away. You need to put that vape away. That is so bad for you." And he was like, "I don't have a vape. What are you on about, sir?" Obviously, like, whatever. He should have just said, "Oh, sorry," and then moved on with his life. But he kept smoking. And this white lady kept confronting him. And when I tell you, my heart was like low key pounding because I was like, "Oh my goodness, he's gonna pull out a blicky and kill me." Because like the lady could easily just like do one of these and then bam, I'm dead. Because literally, I'm directly behind her. So if she just like slightly does one of these, I would be the one who would get killed, right? So I was like, I hope she like stops confronting him because I'm not trying to, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. And then she gets to her bus stop. And as she's leaving, I kid you not, she goes to the bus driver and she goes, "Sir, that man right there, he's smoking. He's smoking. Yup, him right there. He's smoking." And then she proceeds to leave the bus. And I was like, bro, how are you gonna poke the bear and then run away and leave everybody else on this bus to deal with the situation? Like, girl, you are evil. You're evil. And so the bus driver like closes the door, and then he like calls the man out. He was like, "Sir, were you smoking?" And he was like, "Nah, nah." And then he looks back at me, and I look, bro. I've never looked out the window. I've never looked out the window so fast in my entire life. I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything. Officer, my hands are up. I did not see anything. I didn't see nobody smoke. I didn't see. In fact, I can't see. So it's like, keep me out of this. Thank you very much. So I was like, I literally. Yeah, until he got off the bus, because I I didn't see anything. I didn't see it. Did you see something? Because I didn't see anything. Right, right, right. Okay. And then he got off the bus, and I was like, low key, I was like, oh my, I live to see another day. I do. So that was like maybe like 2 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Some other crazy things that I've seen, I'm pretty sure a drug deal was happening in the back of the bus. I'm like 90% sure there was a drug deal going on in the back of the bus, because there was a lot of like, oh, you got it, and I was like, got it? Like, are you trying to get caught? Like what? But yeah, pretty sure there was a drug deal going on in the back of the bus. I seen people, I seen there was this one dude, and he like got on the bus. He looked a little frantic, which is like whatever, because I'm pretty sure it was like 6 in the morning, because I have 8 a.m. classes. I'm pretty sure it was like 6:55 in the morning, whatever. So he looked a little frantic. I was like, makes sense, me too, It's way too early to get on a bus, right? And then he like sits down and he starts giggling. And I was like, uh-oh, uh-oh. So he's like giggling to himself. And I'm like, maybe he like said a joke to himself and he found it funny, because I've been doing that too. I'm funny, so I've been doing that too. And then he starts like talking, and I'm like, oh, I don't see any headphones. I don't see any AirPods. I don't see a phone. I don't see people either. So, sir, who are we talking to? Who are we talking to? Yeah, who are we talking to? And then, after like a couple minutes of just talking to himself, he starts hitting his head on the window. He starts banging his head on the window, and I was like, oh. And at this point, it's like 7 in the morning. The bus is starting to get a little bit full, and he's still banging his head on the window. And I'm like, oh, should we like check on him? Like what's going on? Like, is he like going through a mental crisis right now? Like, should we stay away or should we call the police? Like, that kind of thoughts were going through my head. And then he gets off the bus, and I'm like, oh, okay. Nobody on the bus batted an eye, and I was just like, oh, this must be the usual. This must be the usual. So yeah, I love the bus. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is, so I'm pretty sure it was at the end of one of my 8 a.m. classes. So it was either a Tuesday or a Thursday. Again, in the afternoons, like 10, 11 a.m.s, the bus is always full for some reason. Like, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but it also doesn't make sense. But anyways, the bus is low-key full. I, thank goodness, found a seat by myself. Thank goodness. I was so happy about that. I'm like listening to some music, listening to English or something. Just like, pondering, looking outside the windows, just like trying to be nonchalant, you dig? Just nonchalant. And then we got to a bus stop with, it was 2 people. It was a man and a woman. I'm pretty sure they were dating because they were holding hands. And so, they come to the bus. Obviously, again, the bus is full. And so the dude sits next to me. So the dude sits next to me, and then the lady sits like she tries to sit behind him, like right behind us. But then this mother trucker grabbed her by the waist and sat her on top of him. Sat her on top of him. Still being next to me, by the way. So this, I'm being squished. This is me for 45. Oh, you can't even see me. Oops. This is me for 45 minutes. And this dude is sitting his girlfriend on his freaking lap. And they're freaking sweet. I'm like this for 45 minutes. And then the lady, had the freaking audacity to look at me and go, "Oh, we're sorry, just 15 more minutes. Just 15 more minutes." I'm being squished. First of all, you were gonna find a seat behind us. Why did your boyfriend put you on top of his lap? And now, first of all, now she's sitting on my lap. And now he's literally, I'm like this. For 45 minutes straight, I'm literally making out with the freaking window. Can a girl not catch a break? Like, just rethinking about it is getting me annoyed. Because, bro, 45 minutes. Gosh. And then, at least the lady was, like, nice. And she was, like, apologizing every time the bus would shake. And they'd both be literally on top of me. She'd be like, "Oh, we're so sorry." Yeah. Anyways, so yeah. That's part 2 of the weirdest, I can't say this word, weirdest and craziest things I've either seen or heard on the bus. Toodaloo! Bye.